before I was too thick, I was curvy, I was too short, I was this, I was that, and now I'm too skinny. So it's like no matter what I do, nobody's going to be happy with what I look like. So I have to be happy with what I look like. And I decided to get help actually because I went vegan and I was eating basically raw till 4 just because that was the only diet I had found at the time. I didn't know about like all these other ways of, eating vegan because there's a million ways to eat. And I was eating, mostly fruit, and then I would eat like one cooked meal. And I started feeling really energized and I was feeling a lot better, but I still had a lot of like weight to gain to just be back to like a healthy weight. And I realized when I went back to the gym, I saw like a group of my friends and I was like, hey guys, guess what? I went vegan. I thought it was going to be like this great. I thought they were all going to be like, what? That's so cool.
Good job. It's amazing.
Yeah. And instead they were all like, they all started laughing and they're like, that's a joke. You're going to be eating meat in like a week. And I was like, no, what are you talking about? Like for the animals, is for the, for my health, for the, the environment. And they were like, no, like, because like I said, I was the person who mocked people if they said they were vegetarian because I was like truly like a meathead. Like I was always in the gym. I was always like, how many grams of protein are you eating? And
did you feel different when what changed for you both physically and spiritually when you went vegan?
Physically, I felt I had a lot more energy. So I would wake up in the morning and I would jump out of bed and I didn't feel as like groggy and foggy as I had felt before. And then spiritually, I felt like a lot of emotional detoxing at first, just because, like I said, I was coming to terms with like realizing there was all of this suffering in the world that I couldn't really control. I could only control like my choices. And I dealt with like a lot of emotions coming to the surface that I had suppressed. So my insecurities from when I was younger and like the pain I felt from my dad's accident and my parents' divorce and all of the times that I had been depressed and I felt alone, it was just all like came bubbling up. And I think that had to do with I was eating so healthy that it was like my body was just detoxing. I had all of this suppressed stuff in my body. And yeah, when I went and told my friends at the gym that I was going to be vegan, they all laughed at me. And then, I was really, really skinny at the time still. And they were like, yeah, well, like you have no muscle and blah, blah, blah.
So now your job is to get muscle as a vegan.
Right. So then
Game on. How was that?
It was so much easier than, I didn't even go into it thinking, oh, this is going to be hard. Because I was so motivated by the fact that I was like, okay, I'm going to prove to everybody that you can do this. And I was just so motivated at the time that it didn't even like occur to my mind, like, oh, what if I don't get enough protein? I didn't have any of those questions. I just knew it was going to be fine because I just thought like, how could eating like fruits and vegetables and rice and beans, like how could that possibly be unhealthy in any way? I didn't think that way.
It just makes sense.
It just makes sense, doesn't it? And
yeah.
And so you gained back a lot of muscle on a vegan diet.
Yeah.
And now you help other people because I read that you won't even take clients who want to be bikini models, that you don't want to encourage that.
Yeah. So I started coaching a little while later because I had to go through my recovery. So I had to rebuild my relationship with food. And I was eating vegan, but I still wasn't eating enough because I just had this, this fear of weight gain. And I started seeing a therapist and she really helped me get through all of that. And once I had gone through that, I would say about a year and a half, I was posting, my fitness journey. I had been posting my fitness journey since I started training in the gym. But now I like announced it to the world, like I'm vegan, and I was very proud of it. And I got a really positive reaction. It wasn't until like way later on that I started getting like trolls that were mean about it.
Sure.
But I got a really positive reaction and people started messaging me being like, hey, I'm really interested in going vegan. And I see that you have like a nice body and you work out a lot. Like, can you coach me? And I realized that there weren't enough people that were able to help people with the thing because I just figured it out myself. Like I just did a lot of research. I went and got my personal training certification. I took the plant-based nutrition course because there was nobody out there at the time. Now there's more, services that offer that, but there was nobody. So I decided I'm going to figure it out myself. And I did. And then people started coming to me for help. So I thought, okay, yeah, I can help you. And I just started doing it a little bit on the side. And then I realized I can make, you know, a living out of this so I could put more energy into it. Because if I turn, you know, one person vegan and then they turn one person vegan and then they turn one person vegan, then it's all worth it. And then plus they're training, so they're getting healthier, they're getting stronger, they're getting confident in their body, which is something that is so hard for so many people. And that's how I, you know, got into the work that I do.
Hey folks, okay, back by very popular demand is our plant-powered plate fridge magnet, which you are going to receive for free if you leave us a rating and a review on whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on. So here are the details. Just write your quick review. Does not need to be long, does not need to be a whole story. Just be honest and speak from the heart. Then take a quick screenshot of the review you wrote and email it to us at podcast@switchforgood.org. That's podcast@switchforgood.org. And include your mailing address so we can send you a power plate. We are doing this because the more reviews we garner, the higher we go in search results, which means more folks will learn about our podcast. So the power is in your hands. Leave us a review and zoom, your power plate arrives at your doorstep.
So thank you so much for tuning in today. If we helped you in any way, then click the subscribe button and let's keep hanging out together. We have so much more to share with you.
And if you need more information on actually making the switch for good, please visit us at switchforgood.org for loads of info. And you can subscribe to our mailing list where you will receive all sorts of super cool gifts, discount codes to our very fave dairy-free products, and a lifetime of powerful health tips.
So join us on the journey to switch for good. This is the future.